Welcome back for another tutorial. In this video, we're going to be going through tutorial 12, and we're going to be making a thin-walled dryer housing. So we're going to be using the shell command, and we're also going to be using a rectangular array command, which will be the first time we've used those commands. So let's go ahead and dive into this. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start out on a sketch on the XY plane, and I'm going to be following along in the book here to a degree, just because we don't have an actual full drawing of this. So what I need to do is I need to step through the book to get the dimensions for certain parts of this part. So what we're going to do here is we're going to start by creating an arc, and this is going to be a 4.0 arc. And I am going to start here and bring this up 1.5, and I'm going to come over the rest of the way until I meet it. And there we go. All right, so that looks pretty good. I'm going to trim this, and we are fully constrained there. I'm just double checking. So that is our first part that we need, and now we're going to revolve that, I believe. Yep, it has us revolve that. I always like to double check and make sure I'm not missing anything, so I just look through there, and I actually did see that I need to fillet something here. So go back into Sketch and add my fillet of 0.25. There we go. All right, now I'm ready to revolve. So I'm going to finish that. Revolve. It already knows this. It just needs to know what axis. In that case, it's going to be this line. And we're going to hit check. And there is our revolution. So I'm just going to call this hub revolve. And I abbreviate, of course. All right, let's see what else it has us do here next. Okay, so next, we're going to be creating some planes. And it looks like our first plane is going to be offset from the XY plane 2.5 inches. So to do this, I'm going to click on my plane up here for my work features. And I'm going to click on my XY, and I'm going to move this thing. And what I can do, that wasn't exactly what I wanted to do there. Let's just double click on that again, see if we can edit that. Oh, on the wrong thing. Edit. Where is my edit? All right, so I'm going to make that 2.5. I'm going to delete this, and we're going to restart it, because it doesn't want to take my plane. All right, so we got the XY plane, and I'm going to grab the corner, I'm going to drag it. Now I have my readout. So I'm not sure why it wasn't coming up. But if you run into the case where it does something like, I'm actually glad that happened, because if you get that, just delete it and just try it again. I probably misclicked something, but I'm not sure exactly why it did it, but we got around it just by deleting it and creating a new one. So it's probably the best way to do that. All right, so I'm going the wrong direction there. So I just need to rotate around. That's fine. And repeat the step for 2 more planes at 3.5 and 4.25. So let's go create 2 more. And it's going to be 3.5 and 4.25. And there we go. And I'm also going to turn on my XY plane as well. I'm going to make that visible as well. All right. Moving on. We are going to start on the XY plane. So I'm going to start a sketch on that plane. First, I'm actually going to go to View, and there's a couple ways I could do this. I could slice the graphics, or I could just change my visual style to a wireframe, and that's what they have you do in the book. So that's what I'm doing. Then we're going to go back to our sketch, and we're going to create a rectangle that is It looks like it's right on the origin. That's what they're saying. So we're going to do a 2-point rectangle, start at the origin, and it's going to be 1.5 by 0.5. All right, and there is our rectangle. And then we're adding 1/4 inch radii to that. So click here and here, here and here, and we are good. Okay, now the other thing that it's having you do, when it says to go to the next one, it is, I'm just trying to find it here in the book. Right face, okay, work plane. And it's having you project geometry, and it's having you edit it. I'm going to do this a little bit differently. It's saying the lower right-hand corner. So this corner is going to be aligned throughout all of these planes that we created. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a sketch on this plane, and I'm just going to project this corner. Start sketch, and I like to get isometric, and we're going to project geometry. Actually, oh, it's going to be hard. It's hard to grab these without, let me select it first and then project the geometry. And you can see there, it actually projected my point, my corner point there. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to grab that, and I'm going to make this next rectangle, which is going to be 1.4 by 0.5. And that, of course, is also going to get the fillets. Okay, finish sketch. And we're going to create one on the next one. And I'm just following along to make sure I create these correctly. And once again, I'm going to grab that point and I'm going to project that geometry. And I'm going to create this one, 1.2 by 0.5, and fillet that. Last, create another sketch on this plane, and I'm going to project that geometry again one last time. And I believe this is back to 1.35, tab 0.5, and our radius is still there. Finish sketch. All right. So there we go. All of those are completely defined because we based them off this corner that we projected, which was defined over here based off of our origin. So next what we're going to do is we're going to extrude these. Or sorry, not extrude, but we're going to loft these. So I'm going to pick a loft, and then it's asking me to pick my sections. So I'm going to pick this one, this, oh, that was not what I wanted. Delete that one. So we need to add that one, and that one. And hit OK. And I'm going to get rid of this plane visibility. And we're also going to take it back to a solid shaded with edges. All right, so that looks good. That's exactly what we want. And now next, we are going to start on the YZ plane and create a sketch. And I'm just making sure that I'm on the right one. So I was facing the wrong direction there according to the way that this is laid out here. So I just turned myself around there. And it looks like we're just going to create a 1.5 inch diameter circle. And I'm just going to dimension that to our middle. See, I can't grab that, I can't dimension that. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to exit out of there. I'm going to right click, I'm going to slice graphics. And now I'm going to select that, and I can select my center point. And that's 1.125. And we are fully constrained. Okay, just need to trim this up. Just Still fully constrained. Just double check that. Anytime I trim, I always like to double check because I can knock some things out. And we're going to extrude that the other direction. And let's see how far we're extruding that. 5.5 inches. And there we go. All right, that all looks good. Now I just need to add some radii of 0.15 to here, here, and here. Hit apply. Okay, so that looks good. So there we go. Next, we are going to shell. It's telling us that we're going to make this an 1/8 inch thick. So I'm going to pick my shell command up here. If I can find it. There it is. And I'm going to pick this surface and this surface. What that's doing is it's eliminating those faces. So it's shelling everything out and it's making that, it's basically just getting rid of those faces. So I'm going to go ahead and make this 0.15. Okay. And there is our shelled part. All right, next we're going to create this pattern for the airflow. So I'm going to start up here and create a sketch. And I'm just going to create a rectangle here. So I'm just going to create it out here just so I can see what's going on. Looks like it's 0.5 by 0.125. 0.5 tab 0.125. And dimensionally, it is 1.45 in the X and 1.17 in the Y. Okay, so that's fully constrained. Let's go ahead and finish that sketch and let's extrude that. I'm gonna make it a cut. And it's 0.13 deep. So it should just, yeah, it just takes that little corner out right there. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. And now we're going to pattern that feature. So I'm going to go to a rectangular pattern. I'm going to pick my feature here. And I'm also going to pick my direction. So I got to pick a direction. I can pick this one. And how many instances do I have here? All right, so we have 5, and the spacing is 0.6. Direction 2, it's going to be this one, and we're going to reverse that. And in this case, we have 10 and 0.25 is our spacing. I hit OK, and you can see there we have our extrusion. Now, it said originally 0.13 deep for that, but that doesn't go through, which is interesting because it told us our shell is 0.15. So, since our shell, oh, I'm sorry. Our shell is 0.125. So you'll notice right there, I noticed I made a mistake somewhere because this is supposed to be for air to get through. And I can see that it's solid. It's not going through. So that's the key. At least I noticed it. Now I can go back and change it. So let me go back. Oh, nope. It's the shell that I need to change. Shell. Make that 0.125. Okay. There we go. That looks better. So now we've got it going through there. Okay, next we are going to sweep. So we're going to create a sketch on this face. And it's just going to be a little rectangle. So I'm going to create this rectangle on the upper inside edge, which is going to be 0.125 tab 0.0625. I messed something up. Ah, I'm doing it the wrong direction. That's the problem. 0.125, 0.065. Oops. That's better. And I believe it's actually supposed to be located up here. Yes. Yes, it is. All right, so let me just get rid of that. I'm going to undo that, and we'll recreate that. Yep. Yeah, 125, tab, 065. Nope, did it the wrong way again. Having some serious issues with my directions right now. Okay, that looks good. All right, that's a little better. So we got it fully constrained. Everything there looks good. It's actually constrained to that corner, which is what I want. And I'm going to finish that sketch. And I'm also going to create a sketch on this face. And I am going to project geometry, and I'm going to project all the geometry around this outside of this part. And this is going to be my path to extrude that. When I say extrude, it's actually sweep. So to sweep that, I'm going to sweep it along this path. Sweep is very similar to extrude, only you actually you define a path that it follows as opposed to just extruding it in one direction. So it can change directionally as it goes. All right, now we're ready to sweep. And it's looking for a path. Give it a path. Hit OK. And there we go. And you can see I can still see this sketch. So I'm going to make this, turn the visibility off. Oop. Oops, keep doing that again. Okay, so what I want to do is I just want to make sure that this looks good. So I want to make sure there's no thin edges or anything like that around the outside of it. And it looks good. That's exactly what we want. So what I'm going to do is go through and name these. Call it handle loft. Circle extrusion, 0.15, radius, shell. Shell, I can probably just leave shell because there's only one shell there. It's pretty obvious. Extrusion, this would be the rectangular cut. And then the pattern, I can leave that as is, and this would be, call it edge sweep. All right, so there we go. That is, I believe, our finished part. I don't think we changed anything else. Nope. So there's our finished part. If you have questions, of course, as always, you can see me during class, or of course, you can contact me during my office hours.